pointers, we going insane. Pointers. Yeah, homies got me pointers. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. That's me about my life, man, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. A short kick taken at the 18. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment.
On 2, ready? Go. 11, Tommy. 11.
Right to the air is Burrow. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off Week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Mixon. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here we go. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. Touchdown! Jamar Chase from 10 yards out. And the Bengals are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On second down, they'll run it here. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. He's going to have the first. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now Fields. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Fields now to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here just past the 25.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, Don Maggio out to punt. Returnable here for Davis. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Now it's Fields. And this one too low.
So they look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Here's Fields. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go.
The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
11 MT. Stop.
Again, it's Mixon. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 90 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Mixon will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over first downs at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justin Fields, 63 yards. And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there, because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Ready?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
11 MT.
Now Burrow. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
11.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Here we go, here we go. 12.
Burrow looking to pass. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
On 2.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. A handoff running left, Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Gun. Got. 11.
Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
On 1, ready?
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
12. 11, 18, take.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The tight end in motion right.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. McPherson's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st down, Fields. And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fields being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
A final shot before the break. Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 58 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
And some space here. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run. He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On second down, they'll run it here. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
They snap it to Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Bengals will get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go. 11 mighty. 11 mighty. Stop.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here we go, here we go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Nixon will try the right side. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 144 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with career touchdown number 70. And the Bengals are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right. He's got a man, complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 32 that time. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw is caught here by Anderson. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now on 2nd and 13, Fields. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
As the gain of 8 brings up 2nd and 2. At the Bengals 6-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. To throw is Fields. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. For it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal. At the 3-yard line.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
4th down. Fields has to have this one. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 170 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Close.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, 24 yards. And the Bengals are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and inches, Fields. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Here's Fields. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Burrow in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
On 1, ready?
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
11.
Now it's Mixon running right. And some room to work. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 64 yards on the ground. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action, Fields. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To the air again, Fields. He's going to let it fly. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Fields on 1st down. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justin Fields, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. But this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. The quarterback will keep it himself. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. And this is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
Here we go, here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they run with Mixon to the 36-yard line. Stop there. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Cincinnati, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop